first round pick. Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around?
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby himself.
Chiefs Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MVS back in the middle of the season.
What? Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Tillman, and Hense Todd.
All righty, welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by Chiefs Blitz. Alongside Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, Mr. Tillman, and Little Static.
Who's eating chips? Who's eating chips into the mic?
Anyway,
seriously though, we need to start recording the stuff that we do before we come on air, and that should be the first segment.
I don't know about that. We might get
pure
a little bit,
fire,
we might get
man.
in a little bit of
Pure
trouble.
fire.
Pure heat, huh? That's right.
Yeah, the devil is here. Yeah, I don't know what that noise is coming from, but
got some
hopefully Hense
love.
can fix it.
Yeah, got some love going on over there on that side with the mic. It's some good love going on over there.
Just some new sound effects we're adding.
That's all
to the
it
show.
is. That's all it is.
And,
yeah, we just want to keep things light here on a Monday.
Let's
yeah,
go.
light and right.
All right, I hope everybody had a really good weekend. We got storms in the area here, also in Kansas City for people who are.
Is it
what's that?
Is it fixed?
Yep.
It's still a little staticky. That's all right.
You
We'll
got
figure
that
it out.
T-Pain voice box going. I think
Yes.
it's just a little too much feedback.
I guess so. A little too
Yeah.
much. Getting, as Kenny said, maybe the devil was here. You never know. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys, I hope everybody had a great weekend. A lot of baseball action. Royals took only got 1 out of 3. Caitlin Clark was back on the show for real this weekend. Great to see her on the court. Also, college baseball. Shout out. I'm going on to my Kansas Jayhawks baseball team. They swept West Virginia 3 games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They've got a chance to be one of the quad teams in the NCAA baseball tournament. That hasn't happened since 1993. So I'm going to show my Jayhawk love.
When does a College World Series start?
They have the conference championships are this weekend, Thursday through Saturday, and then they'll have the announcement on Sunday. And right now, I think Kansas is projected to be in the Arkansas region as a 2 seed. So that's a pretty high praise.
Like the conference tournaments, are they single elimination?
Yeah, they do kind of like they do best of 3. They do best of 3, I think. They changed a lot of the format a couple of years ago. Someone who might know a little bit more about obviously, I don't pay enough attention to it because I have no reason to. But I think what they do is they do these quad regions where the top 4 teams have home games that weekend, the first weekend, and then those teams advance to the final 4 in that region. So there's 7 regions, I think.
Okay, that's for the College World Series. But
College World Series. That's
but the conference tournament is just one and done.
Yeah, they changed the format this year. It is just one and done. It used to be. You used to get multiple games to lose, but not this time. So basically, the Jayhawks are in the quarterfinals.
What is Winston's deal, man, with Kansas, man? He's a Wichita State guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like he just do not like Kansas, man. He's all
nothing wrong with Shockers, man.
Shout out to baseball. My favorite player, Jack Caglione, is heading to AAA Omaha, baby. Yeah. Just a matter of time before he's up there hitting dongs for the Royals.
Let's hope so.
There it is.
My goodness, the Royals need some offense. That's
Caglione. Sorry,
Caglione. Speaking of nonis, I watched that movie on Netflix. About the grandmothers in the restaurant. It brought a lot of memories home for me with my my yaya and my noni cooking food in the kitchen when I was a little boy. That's exactly how I was. I just was in awe of the way they could cook.
Great movie. And also, speaking of movies, if you ain't watched Serial Mom from back in the day, I watched that yesterday. It was the most funniest supposed to be serial killer ever. And also, What About Bob? You know what I mean? I watched What About Bob back in the day. Bob never wanted to leave. I was like, God dang, Bob, you got to go home. No matter what, you got to leave, Bob.
One of the best comedies of all time, and it was funny because Richard Dreyfuss, who started that film, absolutely hated Bill Murray on and off the screen, and so the tension between them was pretty real and pretty true to life. I don't know if they ever made up, but he has talked about it.
He was always a very serious actor.
Oh yeah,
but if in a funny movie, if you ever like get a moment or when it's spare, you're looking for old movies. Hence, if you are, and it has kind of like a horse racing theme, it's Let It Ride.
Yeah, awesome movie.
And Richard Dreyfuss and Terry Garr and Buster Poindexter was the cab driver. I mean, it's just one of these movies, like cult classic. But if you like, the horse races and whatever, it really is fun.
It's one of his best movies.
And that's where Richard Dreyfuss is the kind of his comedic chops come out. Yeah. So that's a good one.
Definitely,
little sports involved there too.
Yeah, horse racing is all good. Yeah, he had a good day. Let's just put it that way.
But again, the Serial Mom, man, if y'all ain't watching, man, y'all gonna be laughing the whole movie. I was like, God dang it, she beat that lady with a lamb chop, and the dog ate the evidence, so she couldn't get what she got away with it.
The perfect crime.
But what's the lamb chop season?
It was season. It was season.
That's why it was good in season.
Yeah.
So with that said, guys, let's get right into our sponsor.
Beat it with a seasoned lamb chop.
Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play. And you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy. And they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
And then there was silence. Not good for us today. Let's
go.
Muted
my mic, man.
my mouse got stuck. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. Underdog Fantasy is our sponsor. If you want to play the game, all you got to do is grab your phone right now, take a picture of the QR code, enter the code Chiefs Blitz, deposit $5 into your account. You get 50 in bonus dollars, and you can start playing. You can play games with MLB, NBA, WNBA, golf. I mean, there's a whole plethora of options available to you, and you can mix and match sports. It's a lot of fun. I do it all the time. I'm still positive since we started this in December, which is a good sign for me. But anyway, if I can do the app, anybody can. It's really simple. We appreciate them being our sponsor. That's Underdog. Use the code Chiefs Blitz and start playing your game today. Woof, woof. That's right.
Woof, woof.
Woof, woof.
It went from her to woof.
Oh. All good, all good. All right, Hense. Guide us, young man.
Let's get it.
With that said, we're going to get into the Kansas City Chiefs 6 hidden gems. These guys are the hidden gems of the draft. I know we was picking late, but hey, these are the guys that are the hidden gems of that can help the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl again this year, man. Hey, before we get started, let's go ahead and read off one. I have Mango put some stuff together about the positive and negative of each player. So go ahead and take this one, Nick.
All right. That would be Mr. Josh Simmons. Strong athleticism and footwork for an offensive lineman, especially in pass protection. His agility allows him to mirror edge rushers effectively, which is valuable trait to the next level. The negative can be overly aggressive at times, which causes him to lunge or lose balance in run blocking. This opens up to being countered by more disciplined defenders. I think that's pretty much the state of all offensive linemen, especially at the tackle position. I mean, listen, everybody realizes, and we all agree, that this young man was a top 10, top 15 pick, probably top 10 if he hadn't been injured. I think he would have been probably the first or second tackle taken. That's just my opinion. The Chiefs were very fortunate to get him at 31, obviously traded with the Eagles to gain a 5th round pick to move to 32. And they still got their man. He is a future all-pro left tackle. He has that possibility. We've documented the injury and the surgery and the rehab. The fact that he was on the field during the rookie OTAs and doing some drills is a positive sign that he could and should, from all accounts I've heard, be ready for training camp. Now, it goes slow, but nonetheless, Josh Simmons is one of those players that could be a generational left tackle. And let's hope that's the case, because we all know the offensive line has got to be strong this year.
I think him being a mauler, I think it's no, like, I love it. He's just a mauler, man. That right there can be fixed easy. That can be fixed easy. The upside is great. He got, like I said, he got great potential. He's a solid guy, man, a big guy, man, very smart, intelligent guy at that. So as far as like the negatives, I ain't too much worried about the negatives at all, because that can easily be fixed. Because I know he can hold his own. So I ain't worrying about that young man. That young man, that was a steal for the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Yeah, the gravity of the position is what really the concern is, to throw a rookie in and kind of have these expectations. So if in fact he is the starting left tackle, right off the jump, he's healthy. Clearly, he's the best option at that position. You still have to have patience with him because of how different the pro game is than college. He's coming off an injury, so there's some hurdles there to overcome. So there may be some bumpiness along the way, so we can't jump to conclusions and have PTSD from the previous guys that they've thrown out there. So no, I like him a lot. I mean, that's well documented. He for sure, for me, would have been a top 10 pick, but for the injury. So yeah, Chiefs were rewarded for being patient, just kind of hanging around. We're letting the board fall to them. And luckily they were in a position to take on whatever risk is there with that injury. So a lot of teams, in first round, they want a clean prospect. I mean, they want him to hit the ground running, be a starter right away. Chiefs have a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of margin for error for him. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly he does develop.
Yeah.
So let's get into the next one, Nick.
All right, that would be the super stud from the University of Tennessee. Positive, explosive interior pass rusher with great quickness and hand technique. He consistently disrupts the pocket and had one of the highest pass rush win rates in college football. The negative, lacks consistency against the run and has limited experience, including double teams, which may affect his ability to be an every down player. Now, Omar, Mr. Parking Lot, in my view, has the opportunity to be a rotational guy. That's what he was at college. He was not their best offensive lineman. They worked on a lot of rotations with Tennessee. We've talked about this before, but he's a perfect fit for Spags. He's got a high motor. He gets in the backfield. He creates penetration. He's going to be a huge plus for Chris Jones to maybe, get off some of those double teams and really, really have an opportunity to get to the quarterback and get back to that double-digit sack master that we need Chris Jones to become this year. But I think everybody agrees that this kid is special. He's got a huge upside. And again, what I love about him is I love his attitude. He's fiery. He's committed. He does whatever it takes to be in a position to help his team win. And he doesn't care if he gets one snap. He's going to give it 110% or he gets 50 snaps. And that's what you like for a guy like that.
I would say definitely, but the biggest thing for me is consistency. Just be more consistent. Just be dialed in the game. I'm looking at the double teams and whatnot. He's not going to experience a lot of double teams anyway, so I do believe he's really going to get off with under Spags and just be more consistent. Like I said, the power is there, the speed is there. He can get off, so just be more consistent. That's all, and that man's going to flourish.
Yeah, there are certain skills that are going to get you drafted high, and being an interior pass rusher is one of those skills, and that's kind of where his calling card. Didn't get a ton of snaps at Tennessee, and it's probably because they had like 8 guys rotating through. And we said the same thing about the kids from Georgia or Alabama, any of the big schools that have, a lot of talented defensive linemen. They got to keep them on the field. They all have to play or they're going to transfer and go somewhere else.
Right.
So that's part of it as well. So he does have some unique skills, and that's what got him drafted in the second round. As far as the other stuff, I think Coach hit it on the head. He's not going to see a ton of double teams off the bat because you got Chris Jones, because you got Charles Omenihu. You got grown ass men that have done great things in the NFL that are be taking those double teams, and he's going to have the ability to kind of pick his spots, and that's what they'll do in terms of the rotation. So hopefully that experience in playing maybe 40 snaps a game, 50 snaps a game instead of playing all whatever 75 whatever there is, will get him more in tune with some of the negatives. But he's got a great room to learn from. He's got great coaching to learn from. Joe Cullen is top notch at this. He will have him ready to go because we don't question the motor at all. And if that's, always there, then you got something to work with, and he's going to, it's on him, but it really isn't on him, right? I mean, he's got a lot of help in that room on play for play. So I'm excited about having him and have him, flourish as an interior pass rusher to go along with Chris Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Hey, he's one of the guys that I was eyeballing coming out this draft. But hey, looking at the negative, like Coach said, man, he's not going to be actually double teamed. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
One-on-ones with if we playing along Chris Jones and George Kalafis and Charles Omenihu on the other side, or whoever is on the other side of there, he's gonna get the one-on-ones, man. Also, Pete Mo said if he has a great camp, did he start besides Jones? I think so. If he have a great camp, he's just a starter, no matter what. You know what I mean? Him and Chris Jones coming out of camp, and this kid would be your starter, man. Hey, I can't wait to see what 55 come out here and get done. I can't wait to see what this kid shows on field. I can't wait till training camp starts, and I can't wait to see what this kid has up his tank, what he can show, what he can get.
2 months out from training camp. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. Well, they did have some losses in the interior with Tershawn, Derek Noddy, and so forth. So you bring in Tillery. Kid didn't play much last year, but Tui Pelotu from the Eagles that they had brought along, and so he's going to factor into that as well in terms of the interior defensive line. But no, he's going to have every opportunity, being a second round pick, to be that guy. I'm sure they're expecting him to beat those guys out, but again, those guys have been in the league, they know what it takes, so it should be a great battle.
Yeah, exactly.
So with this, so let's get into the next one, Nick.
All right, Ashton Galati from Louisville, powerful and explosive edge rusher with a relentless motor. He excels at collapsing the pocket using speed to power moves and has a versatile skill set that allows him to line up at multiple spots along the defensive line. His strong hands and disciplined technique make him effective against both the pass and the run. The negative, yes, he does have short arms, could be a disadvantage against longer offensive tackles, sometimes allowing them to engage him first and neutralize his pass rush. Additionally, while he's generally disciplined, we can occasionally be overly aggressive, making him susceptible to misdirection plays in mobile quarterbacks. All those things are accurate about him. However, he just never stops moving his legs. He has the ability to push defenders back into the pocket. And what I love about him, and I watch this, and this is the key for me. This is, if I ever get Joe Cullen in an interview, I've said this 1,000 times. Why do we constantly go around the edge? Why don't we split the tackle and the guard? And this is something that Ashton can do. And he did in college. If it wasn't there, he circled back. It's something that we saw from George Karlaftis. He developed a little bit of that this past season, which is another good thing. And he and Karlaftis on the edge, could be a solid tandem. They're already friends off the field. They have worked out together. This is a guy, again, another Veach special. Motor, strength, power rusher. And they definitely need that. Charles Omenihu is on a 1-year deal. This could be his last year in Kansas City. Hopefully not. But this Ashton adds another young guy to go out there and to wreak havoc on the quarterback. And it's going to be a very rotational defensive line from inside and outside, and he's going to be a perfect fit for Spags.
Man, exactly. If you look at it, the speed, the burst, and what that man can do, he can collapse the pocket. And remember, guys, while I stayed for a parking lot, man, that man going to get busy out there because he's not getting double teamed. He's not getting double team, and he got the speed and the acceleration. Like the only downfall, they said his hands, he's got short arms. That's perfectly fine, but he got the power to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? With that speed, just that burst, man. As long as you can push the pocket and push them to push the lineman into the quarterback, that's all that matters. And he got great speed to chase down. You know what I'm saying? He got the speed. He can get these mobile quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So I see great things from him too. Great things from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the classic edge rusher, or he would have been, classic sized edge rusher, or he would have been drafted a little bit higher. Whether it's the short arms, maybe the not as much athleticism as some of the other guys that got drafted ahead of him. But again, this is kind of the recurring theme here. Somebody with a strong motor, never stops, always looking to make plays, always getting off the ball. I don't want to say, you bring in like the name Aiden Hutchinson, now you're going to another level. Now he's a little bit more athletic, but I think that type of player that is just relentless. So with him, working with George, who in turn works with Tamba and some of these other pass rushing gurus, he's going to learn more moves. And if he's a willing worker and everything, anytime he's been available for the press, I think it's been a couple of times, he just kind of, the energy exudes from him. Like, it's not going to be from a lack of trying or just giving up. I mean, this dude is here to work. He's here to play hard. And again, those guys just need some refinement, just need some experience.
Yep.
In terms of your question, Nick, what I would imagine Joe would say in terms of rushing off the edge, typically they're rushing in tandem. And the last thing you want is guys kind of coming from the outside, unless it's like a TE stunt, the tackle and the end kind of loop, or they set a pick and kind of one comes around the edge, that sort of thing. I got you. But if just individually you're trying to do those spin moves back to the inside, you're giving up contain. If it's a run play, you're not setting the edge. If you got a mobile quarterback and that move doesn't work, you're SOL.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
dude's out the gate. So, and again, it may be a philosophical thing, whatever, but that's what I would imagine would kind of be the answers. You want that guy first and foremost setting the edge and keeping most of these mobile quarterbacks. You want to try to keep them in the pocket. And if you keep your rush integrity, that's the easiest way or the best way to even try to get it done. So
exactly.
As I watched his tape, as when Coach sent me his tape, and we was looking at these players, man. Like I said, man, hey, the kid, if you just put on glasses, hey, it is Jared Allen all over again for me when I see out there. But hey, the negativity, the short arm thing, yes, I've seen that on his tape as well. Like some longer arm offensive tackles. To get up in his shoulder pads and, misdirect them and everything else but his get off the ball is always there. And again, like somebody said in the chat, if he get to working with Tom Ali, like all the other guys do, shout out to Tom Ali. I think that he should be a coach on the coaching staff because he get these guys going. But if he come out working with Tom Ali and come out this season and show what, hey, my orange leaf doesn't really matter. I deserved of that pick. I feel like this kid is going to be a big steal for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Definitely.
Yep, I totally agree.
Let's get into the next one, Nick.
All right, that's going to be Noah Williams, the cornerback from California. Here's a guy that the Chiefs, identified very early on. They needed another cornerback. They needed a straight up guy who could play on the outside. I think he led the nation in interceptions last year. Obviously, the big pick 6 against Cam Ward, the overall #1 pick. Physical ball hawking quarterback who excels in press coverage. In 24, he led the nation with 7 interceptions, I said, showcasing his ability to disrupt passing lanes and make impactful plays. His size, 6'1", 199, aggressively play style allow him to effectively challenge receivers at the line of scrimmage, which we really need. The negative, while his physicality is a strength, it also led to penalties. Williams was flagged 17 times during his college career. Additionally, his average long speed may be limited. He has the ability to cover against faster receivers on deep routes. Again, if you watch him play and you watch the film pre-draft, he had great break to the ball instincts, and he does something that we bitch about all the time in the show.
Hello.
If you're a cornerback, turn around and find the ball. Don't wait till it's in the receiver's hands. And if you watch this film, he does that, I think, better than anybody, on the current Chiefs roster. Well, at least what he did and the habits he learned at the college level. And I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. You got some questions in the secondary when it comes to free agency after this year. There may be a couple of guys who were playing significant minutes last year who might not make this team. And if Noah excels in camp and in preseason games and shows that same flair to get the ball, to me, he's an Albert Lewis clone for those old-time Chiefs. That's who I think he compares to the most.
Man, listen, that boy played, man. He played press. That man's a dog. The hell with the 17 penalties, man. You want that. Be aggressive, man.
Well, you don't want
that
17.
ass.
Yeah.
Hey, they can be corrected. Whoop that ass on that line. Hey, who does he remind y'all of? Snead. It was Snead did, right? Snead had that same mentality, very aggressive. He took a couple penalties, but y'all was winners. Y'all went to the Super Bowl, right, with that type of style. And again, he's a ball hawk. He has great awareness for the ball. So again, this guy might be the steal for the Kansas City Chiefs. He might be the steal because he got everything you want in the DB. Everything you want.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the biggest secrets of the college football season was the Cal Bears defensive backfield. I think they had 3 guys drafted in the top 4 or 5 rounds. Other corner, safety got drafted as well. And he was kind of put on display and really, I think, got a lot of national attention when they played against Miami. And obviously Ward had a huge second half and brought them back, but Cal was in that game. And I think he did take one of his interceptions back for a touchdown, which was kind of a gift. But bottom line is he's always around the ball. Mm-hmm. And in terms of the 17 penalties, I mean, if you spread that over 4 years or however many years he played in college, it's not a huge number.
Right.
And also to Coach's point, and Snead he was always up there in penalties for defensive backs. Exactly. So if you kind of like the way that L'Jarius played, not saying he's going to be the same type of player. I think there's some differences in it, but in terms of the aggressiveness and getting into the receivers, that's kind of his game. And I think every quality that he has fits in perfectly with what the Chiefs are looking for in their corners. Mm-hmm. Not afraid to come in and stick his nose in for the running game, is going to be physical with the receivers, can play multiple positions, doesn't necessarily have to play as an outside corner. So again, I think, when it comes down to it, and the more we talk about these guys, it's like they kind of hit it out of the park in terms of finding the guys that fit the culture, that fit the way they want to play. And I've said it a million times, you guys are going to get, tired of hearing it, but from this part of the country, you watch college games, you're like, that kid is a Raven. That kid is a Pittsburgh Steeler. And I think you're starting to see that's a Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, good point.
Right. And also part of this country, you're starting to see what a Philadelphia Eagle looks like. Normally, if you're watching Georgia play, everybody on the field is an Eagle, right? Mm-hmm. But no, I really like how this whole thing played out for them.
But you look at the size and the weight, man. He reminds me of the best guy that ever played a Chiefs position at cornerback, and that is Marcus Peters. That's what he reminds me of, a guy that we actually get the ball back. We actually need the ball back. He gives the ball back to Patrick Mahomes without the attitude. The physicality, the penalties, it doesn't matter. This kid would get it done. I like the attitude of it, man. The penalties, yes, there, but that showed that I'm putting my hands and feet, Coach said, on you at all times.
On that ass.
So with that said, man, if I look at when I was watching his tape from Cal, man, like, the kid reminds me of Marcus Peters. He plays the ball very well. He plays it like a receiver going after to get the ball, or that's what we was missing in this secondary. We got McDuffie, we got Watson, we got the other guys, but like Nick said, we was two back on this show. We always say turn around and find the ball. We didn't have around. I don't start that. I'll say, we gotta do something.
Right.
But this kid remind me of Marcus Peters, man. Like the the Chiefs needed Marcus Peters, but without the attitude, right?
Yeah.
Without the can't take coaching or whatever he was going on the field. But Marcus Peters was one of the best cornerbacks that I've seen play with these eyes. You know what I mean? Taking the ball away, doing everything you need to do. And I feel like Williams is that kind of guy that's actually going to come out here. And I wish that he got the number 3, man. Because if he had a number 3 jersey, I was going to go get it. You know what I mean? The number 3, hey.
And have it. That's young
We're
standards for life.
We're going to start this conversation with the retired jerseys.
I'm just saying. I just wish
I hear you.
But the kid,
what did he pick, by the way?
I think it's 20, number 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 20.
I don't remember.
But again, man, hey, Marcus Peters and all over again with great attitude. Now to say about this kid.
Well, he certainly will have a better defensive coordinator than Marcus Peters had. That's for sure.
And let's get into the one of the Chiefs fan favorites. Go ahead, Dick.
All right, Mr. Royals, explosive wide receiver known for his elite straight line speed and agility, making him a significant threat after the catch. In 23, he recorded 71 receptions for 1,080 yards and 15 touchdowns, showcasing his ability to stretch the field and turn short passes into big gains. His versatility allows him to line up both outside and in the slot, providing offensive coordinators with valuable formation flexibility. The negative, he's got limited experience, got top-tier competition, having played exclusively at that group at the 5 level. His route tree remains underdeveloped, relying heavily on vertical concepts, and he struggles with the physicality at the line of scrimmage, particularly against press coverage. Additionally, a foot injury in 24 cut his season short, raising concerns about his durability at the professional level. Now, I'm no expert, and I don't know who wrote that, but I think some of those negatives are hogwash. The reason that he slid was from the foot. The reason the Chiefs love him is what he did in a year earlier at Utah State when he torched defenses, both in man coverage, in press coverage, in gaps, breakaway. I mean, this kid, as a slot receiver, in my opinion, in this offense, he is going to have the ability to make some really big plays, and they're going to push him because if Rashee Rice is suspended, he's going to be that guy who's going to take some of those reps from Rashee Rice. Now, a lot of people have talked about, the teams he didn't play at Utah State. I don't care. If you get touchdowns, you get yak. He led the league in plays over 50 yards last season or the year before? I don't know which. But even as a mid-major program, he showed that he could play at the NFL level. And we all said this. We were shocked at where he was picked because a lot of people had him as a high second round, third round grade. And I think they all fell in the trap about his injury. And let me say one more thing. At the NFL Combines, he ran almost a 4.39 with a foot that wasn't 100% healed. Imagine what he can do when he's completely healthy, which he is now. So to me, this is one of my favorite picks of the class.
For me, man, looking at the way Reed's offense, like it's kind of like a hybrid West Coast offense. They just got to get separation at the line of scrimmage. Can you get separation? Can you get? He's a yak guy. Look at Rashee Rice, a yak guy. You can make plays after the catch. You know what I'm saying? And Rose fit that perfectly. Like y'all love Rashee Rice, y'all gonna love Rose because he's the same caliber player, the same player. So again, he's gonna do wonders in this offense. Now, as far as the route tree goes, just like any rookie wide receiver, he gonna have his ups and downs with it. Feel injury when he's healed, he's gonna be 100%. But me personally, I'm not worried about his flaws and whatnot because under Andy Reid and his offensive philosophy, he's gonna excel. He's gonna excel definitely in his offense. So I can see big things coming from Royal. Big things.
Yeah, we like this kid a lot. I think he's got all the physical tools that he needs to excel and become a contributor pretty early in the process. Mm-hmm. Now, the tough thing is what we've seen from Rashee, from Xavier, any rookie wide receiver that comes in, that it does take them a while to kind of get rolling. And then you kind of see it. It almost crystallizes for them, and you can actually see the way they play. They start playing a lot faster. They're not thinking as much, And he has shown the ability to run different routes and has the abilities to run a bunch of different routes, which, a lot of times in college, they probably don't really get the opportunity to do just because of the way they run offenses, the fact that, play calls are just, signaled in. It's very simple. They're probably not doing a lot of motions and changing sides of the field and so forth. So I think he's going to adapt to all that because he is going to be doing a lot of shifts and motions and playing different positions, along the wide receiver group. So excited to see how quickly he kind of gets it going, because I think once he does, then we'll see a lot of, kind of the production that Rasheed had in the second half of the year, that Xavier kind of really his whole view opened up the second half of the season. So again, excited to see where this kid goes.
Mm-hmm. Looking at his film, man, hey, it's not the number one, for the, the Tony the Tiger tuna can team. But again, I think he's just one of those guys. And my son told me he reminds him of Jamar Chase. He said, does he remind you of Jamar Chase, of the style to play, the way he's not there, the way he's, the build? Yeah, I know the size and the weight and everything, the height and everything kind of match up to Jamar Chase. But, if you've seen some flashes of it, him down there at the school and, in college and everything else. Regarding the route tree, like Coach said, man, hey, if all these rookies come in, with some kind of flaw in they scheme or some in their playing style as well. Right. But if you get the right coaching, the right guys around them, like Travis Kelce, Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown, these guys, and Xavier Worthy, even though he's coming off his rookie year, they all get around him and help him, become, one of the best wide receivers, or, help him with the route trees and everything else. Because like Lou said, in this offense, it takes the rookies sometimes a while to get it. But, when they start to get it, they start looking like, hey, how did the Chiefs get this guy? How did the Chiefs get Rasheed Rice? How did they get Xavier Worthy, to get going like this? And I think Rice is going to be that type of guy. Yes, I can say he has the ceiling to be Jamar Chase, but also his bottom ceiling is Chris Conley for me.
Shit.
I'm just saying, Chris Conley was
a. You know what? None of that. He makes plays. That's it.
Chris Conley was, his, the style wise. I would say
he got the upside with Chris Conley. He do.
The upside of Chris Conley wasn't bad.
It always seemed like he just left you kind of wanting a little bit more. Like for one reason or another, he never really kind of reached the potential that you thought he had coming out of Georgia.
Nah, he didn't.
He was too into music and Star Wars and all those other things he wanted to do.
Damn, Kadarius Toney.
I don't think
young Joker. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't think his full heart and soul was into playing football. That's just my take.
No, I said Chris Conley is his floor.
Yeah, he stuck around. He stuck around a bit. He was with San Francisco last year, wasn't he?
It's all good.
He was with the Niners last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was.
And the year he played in the Super Bowl.
They said Conley was like, he was underwhelming. Let's call it what it is. He was underwhelming, man. He had the upside, just underwhelming. It's all right.
The Georgia receivers will do that, man. I don't know what it is.
Top shelf underwhelming.
Chris Conley had the body size, the hand size,
everything. Yeah. He was part of one of the greatest plays in Patrick Mahomes' career.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do ever be the
pass in the 49ers game when he ran 75 yards?
Hey, Winston said Pierre Garçon. He said Pierre Garçon. He said he kind of similar to him, man.
I'll take a Pierre Garçon.
Pierre Garçon was good too. I like Pierre.
Let's get into the next one.
All right, Jeffrey Bosa, the outside or the inside linebacker, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, whatever you want to call him.
There you go.
University of Oregon, versatile linebacker with a background as a safety, which enhances his coverage skills. Excels in zone coverage, effectively reading quarterbacks and closing passing lanes. His athleticism and side-to-side range make him a valuable asset in sub packages and also special teams. I think he's going to be a gunner. Negative, Bass's run defense is still developing. He can struggle with block shedding and maintaining gap integrity. His instincts against the run are raw, and he may over pursue, leading to missed tackles. Additionally, his smaller frame can be a disadvantage. Okay, for a guy who converted to safety, he was the main guy calling the plays on defense for Oregon last year. And if you talk about his side-to-side skills, he gets to the ball very quickly, either behind the line of scrimmage When he has to go north and south, sometimes it's not as fluid, but he has the ability with his speed to go against some of the better backs and some of the better tight ends that come out and play in the middle of the field. That's what you want. The Chiefs don't have a really good coverage guy at the linebacker position who can address the opposing tight ends, and Bassa has that ability, and I think that's why they drafted him. They moved up in the 5th round thanks to the pick they got from the Philadelphia Eagles in round 1, and they were able to get a guy that they had targeted earlier and considered taking him in the 4th round. And instead, obviously, Noel became available, and that was a moot point. But they moved up to get him. Listen, he wore the mic last year for Oregon, and that to me, that tells me the show isn't going to be too big for him. And I talked to a couple people who watched him during the rookie camp, and they told me he was the one player that impressed them, the coaching staff, the most on his preparation, on his ability to assimilate what was being asked of him in a very limited capacity, and showed a lot of those things that they saw on tape that maybe some other teams didn't value. So I'm equally as excited about him as well, and I know the coaching staff is too.
Well, if you look at what Specs like to do with this defense, man, he's going to be everywhere on the field. He's going to play a little bit, may play a little nickel, may play a little safety. That might mix him up. You know what I'm saying? He got great speed to chase down. He's a good cover guy too. He can cover tight ends and cover, like you said, Nick, cover backs out the backfield. I like this guy, man. He's a perfect fit for what they want to do, and he's very intelligent to be the Mike, to be the guy that runs the defense in Oregon, right? That's fantastic. So for me, looking at it from that standpoint, fast, athletic, he's very fast, and he has a high IQ for the game. Perfect fit for Specs.
Yeah, some of the, again, recurring theme is position versatility, speed, athleticism.
Exactly.
So you can use him in multiple different ways. Early on, I'm saying if he's not on the field as a linebacker, he can come and play like, the dime safety position. He can play the dime linebacker position, and whether he's covering a tight end or just dropping back into his zone, sending him on a blitz. A lot of different ways you can use him. And again, being the green dot in college, again, maybe the calls aren't quite as sophisticated, but it does tell you how they valued him there. And Dan Lanning, former defensive coordinator at Georgia. I mean, they don't fool around there. It's a pretty, pro style stuff. So like this kid a lot. I really wasn't on my radar coming in, but obviously as you read more about him, watch him a little bit more, that, this is a Chief.
He's a Chief. There it is.
And speaking of the Chiefs, man, I feel like this kid, coming down playing safety, playing linebacker, he gives me that, I'm going to say it. I know a lot of people going to say, what? Eric Berry, man. Like Eric Berry playing linebacker. If he was Eric Berry playing linebacker, put out here, the coverage ability, the hitting wise, and the film study of this kid, what he's going to bring to the Chiefs is a lesson. Hey, this kid said he studied film. Hey, he don't even go out. He said, I go straight home, watch film, go to sleep, wake up watching film. I want to see what this kid come out and do in a Chiefs uniform this summer, man. And the summer league, what Lou like to call it. But hey, again, being aggressive, missing tackles, hey, that doesn't matter. As long as you tried to tackle, as long as you
give effort, like 100% effort.
As long as you put in effort to get out there and get it done, that's all that matters. But again, the kid reminds me that he watches tape and cover wise, he'll come down playing safety and linebacker too. Hey, this is what the lead is more leading on. I know back in our day, we had our Ray Lewis's, we had our Patrick Willis's, but the lead is leading more to more smaller size linebackers that can cover sideline to sideline. And this is what this kid is bringing in to the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is what we was missing last year. A guy that can cover tight ends coming out the backfield, guy that can cover running backs coming out the backfield. And this is what was missing. And looking at it, I know y'all said, Rice is probably the steal of the draft. This guy probably the steal. Like, I know when we was all the night of the draft, we was all looking for a running back, and we was like, what the F when he got picked? But but it's all said and done. This kid is gonna come out here and be one of the greats. Probably one of the best linebackers that we probably see in the Chiefs uniform.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Another guy who looks like a Baltimore Raven and a Philadelphia Eagle, that's for sure. Back on the Kansas City Chiefs, as Lou said earlier.
There it is.
With that said, let's get into the last one.
Woo-hoo. I'm not even going to read the negative. It's a bunch of BS. Positive for Mr. Brashard Smith. He boasts elite acceleration at the top end, running a 4.39 40-yard dash at the combines. His background as a wide receiver enhances his pass catching skills, making him a dual threat out of the backfield. In 2024, he set a single season program record at SMU with 1,977 all-purpose yards, 18 touchdowns, earning first team all ACC. All right, a couple of the negatives. Yeah, he's got a smaller frame at 5'10", 194. That does, raise concerns. He was only a starter for one season at the running back position. Sometimes he struggles with ball security, but who doesn't when he tries to make explosive plays? But to me, this is the guy. We all jumped for joy. I was screaming. It was the most excited outside of round one that I was in this NFL draft for a Chiefs to take a guy that can make an impact and make a difference right away. This kid is all nails. He talked very humbly after he was drafted on draft night. He's talked to the coaches. This is a guy. This is Andy Reid's new Jamal Charles. Now, not quite the strength, but you know what? When you have a low center of gravity, anything's possible. And you can just look at that picture there. You know, he's thinking about what's the next move and what's the move after that. And that's what you want. He's a thinker. He knows how to run routes as a running back because of the wide receiver position that he played 3 years at Miami. He didn't really get a lot of time and comes to SMU, and they said, hey, how about being a running back? And he just took off. I mean, you don't get 1,900, almost 2,000 all-purpose yards if you stink and if you didn't adapt very well to your new position. But for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you're going to finally see a back that has the ability to hit the long run, and also somebody who's going to be a Kareem Hunt-esque kind of pass catcher, kind of like what Kareem was his first couple of years in Kansas City before he departed. I think that's what the Chiefs are going to get out of this kid. I cannot wait to watch him on the field in Kansas City.
Man, he's on a chain mover. He's a third down guy, man. That boy can get separation. Remember, he's an ex-wide receiver, and that's a good thing to me because I mean, y'all was comparing him to Jamal Charles, right? Jamal Charles can catch out the backfield too. You can put him out, you can split him out. He kind of got that feel for me with the same skill set, and he's fast as hell too. Very fast, man. Like I said, you put him in them high shotgun formations, man. Let the man run behind that shotgun, man. Kind of open up a little bit, but the downside for me, that 5'10", 194, no concern for me. No concern for me. A lot of these guys in the NFL about that size, though. My thing is his versatility, man, the speed and the separation. He's very elusive, man. Agility is crazy, and he can take you put him in the outside and one-on-one with a linebacker, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. So that's an excellent pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs. Excellent, man.
Yeah, for me, outside of Trevion Henderson, he was my second favorite back in the entire draft. And I was thinking that was in the 5th round when Nick, you were talking about they moved up, and I'm thinking, okay, here's the pick for Smith. And yeah, you're a little disappointed. So no offense to Bassa, we just I had kind of my high hopes for that. And then to get him in the 7th round, forget about it. That was the most emotional I've been during a draft in quite some time. But no, I think just the way they're going to be able to use him, you just hope that he's able to pick things up, pick up the checks and everything that you have to know, being that third down back. Eventually, maybe get a little bit more involved in the offense as the year goes on. But I just can't wait. Seriously, I mean, I just can't wait to watch him. Whether, like I said before, put him out in motion, put him out in a bunch with two of the faster receivers and Xavier or Jalen Royals, and put those guys together and just watch the defensive backs lose their minds. Pitch it to him, whatever you got to do to get the ball, get him in space with an opportunity to make one guy miss, and then he's just gone. So
exactly,
very, very excited for Brashard.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm excited too, man. Hey. Once you say Jamal Charles, man, hey, I get hyped. You know what I mean? As you say, but you do watch his tape, man. He reminds you of Jamal Charles, the speed, the vision. I want to see more out of him on the blocking schemes and everything else, picking up blocking. That's why I want to see what he pick up in summer ball. But other than that, man, hey, coming out the backfield, it's his first time playing running back. A full year playing running back. I think he did a heck of a job. Even Chris Johnson said his favorite running back coming out of this class. He's fast, his agility coming out the backfield, and plus when the Andy Reid scheme, you get a guy like this, man, it's gonna be a steal for the Chiefs, man. I know he's the biggest the fan favorite right here. You know what I mean? He's the favorite, besides the left tackle, I thought, you know what I mean? But hey, Smith is going to have the number one selling jersey out of all the rookies come this season, man, when it's all said and done.
Even parking lot.
I'm just saying, yeah, he probably is, man. I just don't hope he don't keep number 30, man, what he's going to rock with, man. I hope he just come out, probably get like an old school running back number, 23 or something like that, you know what I mean? But number 30, I'm not rocking with. I know Xavier Worthy got one, but if they can put the 0 on the kid and let the kid
get the best zero,
what was Jamal Charles' number? What was Jamal Charles' number?
25.
25, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire ruined it for us. So I don't want to
talk about a number that should be retired. It's definitely
did somebody take it, or is it available? I don't. Did anybody?
I didn't think nobody took number 25.
Maybe somebody on the practice squad. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of times, guys, once all the cuts are done and then other numbers become available, you'll see them make some changes. But whatever number he wears, he's gonna make it his, and just can't wait for it, man.
There you have it.
Yeah, and there it was. We spoke about all the guys that the Chiefs picked up, the 6 hidden gems. Now I'm going to ask the final question, the closeout question. How would these rookies impact the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this year, Luke?
I think it's
Lou.
Should I start moving my
lips?
lips?
Sorry, Lou. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Lou.
Well, you got to believe that a good number of them are going to have significant roles, just because of the structure of the team, kind of the losses they had in free agency and how they were addressed during the draft and so forth, and the fact that a lot of these guys are a little more talented than maybe some of the guys returning. So it really just becomes, can they elevate fast enough to make an impact as we get into playoff time and so forth? So, we talked about each player and kind of what their role was. So just become a master of your role. Star in whatever your role happens to be. You don't have to come out and have, for Jalen Royals, you're not going to get enough targets to have 80 catches and a bunch of yards, whatever. But when you're called upon, be available, make that catch, make that block, whatever has to be done. But if you're looking specifically, if I had to pick one guy, I would say just defensively, if Lott can kind of get himself just acclimated to the defense and that defensive line comes together, he, just by the fact that he's got those horses next to him, can have a huge impact, right? Especially, again, like I said, that one skill of rushing the passer from the inside will get you drafted high, and he did. So I would say if I had to pick one guy that could really make the biggest impact, I think it could be him because of that inside pass rush.
Man, I'm gonna go with, I got two of them. I got Galati and I got Noah Williams. Noah Williams fit something. It's something the Chiefs never had since Snead, and I feel like he's a better ball hawk than Snead too. If you want to put both together, like Snead and Peterson, your guy Peterson, if you put those guys together, man, with the ball hawking skills, man, and the physicality of Noah Williams, I think Noah Williams is the answer for this defense, guys, because like Trent McDuffie, to me, he is a slot guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking nothing away from him, though, on the outside, really not his niche. But you put this guy out there, man, that can handle those number ones, terrific. And then you got Galati out there, man. Like, if you look at his pass rushing ability, he's very explosive, and he can beat them one-on-ones. You know what I'm saying? And he has the burst the some of the Chiefs don't have. They really didn't have that. So if you look at those two guys, for me, going to the Super Bowl, going like being an anchor to go to the Super Bowl, it'll be those two for me.
Yeah, it had to be Williams for me. If we can get that guy that actually can cause more turnovers on the other side of the defense and give the ball Pat more time, give him more chances with the ball, and that's what we was missing on this defense. Yes, we got Chris Jones. Yes, we getting Mr. Parking Lot. But if Williams can be that corner that we need to take away the ball, that could turn that back to the Chiefs form, but back old Chiefs defense with Marcus Peters and other guys back in the past and all that, and we can actually get a guy like that in the third round and come out to look like he can be a number one corner in the league. I think that would be the most impact. But all these rookies, I think they could make an impact for the Chiefs to come back, win the Super Bowl this year. If the guys come out, take coaching very well, take training camp very seriously, and come out. And like Lou said, some of these guys just returning, these rookies are very better than, they got better than, some of these guys that's already been here already. You got, if what's his name, Josh Simmons come out and plays very well at left tackle and come out to secure this offensive line, there'll be a steal, a very impactful player that can help the Chiefs get back to forms of offense. And also, if Smith can come back at a running back and be the running back that we didn't have since Jamal Charles, lights out for everybody else around the league. I know y'all building stuff in the there in Broncos country and Raiders land and Chargers, wherever your stadium is, fan base is. The Chiefs will be back to the number one spot again, and they'll be back where they belong. If these guys, if they hit all 6 hidden gems on this draft selection with these 6 guys, I think it'll be great. Go ahead, Nick.
To me, it's the bookends. Josh Simmons, to me, everything that we know about this kid just from the interview process, and, shout out that he follows us. We appreciate that as well on our Instagram. But, what I think's great about Simmons is if this draft pick hits, and I expect it will, then for the next 4 to 5 seasons, the Chiefs don't have to worry about the blind side of Patrick Mahomes. Now, injuries could occur, and maybe he doesn't adapt to the speed of the NFL, but there's nothing at Ohio State University that we saw on film before his injury that indicated he can't get the job.
Hey, real quick, guys, I got to take a quick restroom break, guys. Give me one second. I got to drain. I got to take care of the conda.
All right. So there we go. And I think with Simmons, to me, he's got special gifts. Clearly he was the top pick. And then, I can't say much more about Smith, but I think when you add what he's going to do in Andy Reid's offense, to me, I love the defensive guys. I love the Noel pick, but it's going to be the 1st and the 7th round picks to me that give the Chiefs the ability to score maybe 5 to 7 extra points a game. That's 5 or 7 points that the defense has a cushion in, and these 2 3-point games could be 9 or 10. And I think that's how you have to look at this. How these offensive draft picks and the moves that they made in undrafted free agency, how does this get the Chiefs another 7 points, assuming the defense stays on its plateau? But to me, Simmons and Smith are going to be the key to scoring more points and creating separation and more room for the defense to operate.
That's correct. Let's get into some of these questions before we close out.
Let's see. Demetrio. I think Glady and Furious George are going to overwhelm offensive lines. One thing, they're not going to give up on going after a quarterback. And I think that you have to be excited about the fact that, they're going to be coming on opposite ends. The Chiefs could move Amenahue inside a little bit. It would be interesting to see how they rotate him. Mike Dana's there, of course. Mike played hurt last year, so I'm not gonna diss his 2024 season versus 2023. But I like these 2 guys, and maybe they switch off. Maybe they're not on the field at the same time. But I would think by, the bye week thereafter, you're probably going to see both these guys lining up outside at times in pass rush situations. King Mo, what if this class is like 22 with 90% of them starting? Lou, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, that's kind of getting spoiled because they had just about every draft pick made the team. I think only when Derek Kennard was the only one that didn't really do much for the Chiefs.
He's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
And then eventually he released, went to another team. But yeah, that would be the dream at this point. And you think just on the surface that this class may even actually exceed that, be a little bit more highly regarded, because you had 3 7th-round picks that were the contributors, right? And Watts Island, Pops, Nazi. Now, Nazi didn't really play his first year, but he did
Still
play
working
a
on
little
that
bit
one.
last year. So I don't know that we say that he was like this big revelation so far, but he has had the opportunity to play. So yeah, if they come close to those guys, 3 years in a row, all they know is Super Bowls. Unfortunately, they lost their last one, so maybe that gives them a whole new appreciation for coming back and starting back at the bottom of the mountain, climbing back to the top. But yeah, I think this class, is a little more highly regarded because there are a couple higher picks that you can see stepping right in.
Right. Weston's got a question. Is there a good chance that Bringston makes the 53? What are you hearing about him? I'll say this very briefly. He's making the 53. He's the number 3 tight end right now. No one's going to convince me otherwise. He was one of the highest paid undrafted free agents.
Don't say he's a number 3 tight end, because
he's the number 3 tight end, right? He's the number 3 tight end on opening day.
You got Noah Gray and you got Jared Wiley, right? No. So Jared Wiley's come off an injury. Yeah, I know.
He won't be back till October, November.
Well, yeah, I think for Weston, I would say a lot does have to do with Jared Wiley's health.
Correct.
Because if he is healthy and they feel comfortable with him taking a full workload early on, then I think Briningstool, again, depending on how he plays, how he takes to the playbook and so forth, we can see he's got all the physical skills and so forth. Jared Wiley, I would think, is the same size, same physical abilities. So I think this is more of an insurance policy. I'd love to hear the rest of the league's take on why he wasn't drafted, what the deal was, what they weren't seeing or what they were seeing that they didn't like. But yeah, I think Jared Wiley is a big part of that equation.
Yeah,
definitely.
One more question from from Kenny. Do the Chiefs have an international player with any potential? Kenny, if they do, I haven't seen it. So I don't think that's going to be the case here. Again, a lot of these international players, it's kind of like a throw-in. They get a special roster exemption, but generally they don't even make the practice squad. So I haven't seen anything so far. Obviously, we haven't watched any OTAs or mini camps yet.
The Jordan Mailatas are few and far
never.
There's gonna be some guys that just the athletic ability, maybe they with the footwork from playing soccer and all these other things that translate. But just imagine playing a brand new sport, starting maybe when you're 17 or 18 years old. All these other guys have been playing their entire lives. It's going to be a small number of dudes that really hit. I mean, everybody was so excited last year with the heartthrob. His name escapes me, Louis Zammit, right? Yeah. That he was going to be, he might be like this big revelation at running back. Well, okay, it didn't quite work out here. I think he's still in Jacksonville. So, what is it, Cheeky or whatever? Was he released recently? The offensive lineman that was their international pathway guy?
I don't think that was for last season, so I don't think they kept him. I don't think he's back this year. I could be wrong. All right, Weston's got another question, and we'll talk a lot about this as mini camp and training camp unfolds. How many running backs do you think the Chiefs will keep? I think it's going to be 4 total, and that includes the fullback position. So it's going to be interesting to see, if Mr. Steele can crack that roster. I just think they're stacked. With Clyde Edwards-Helaire gone, that's one thing, and then you've got. P. Ryan, he signed a 2-year deal with the Bengals to return to Cincinnati. He's gone. Kareem Hunt's 30, going to be 30 this year.
31,
obviously, you got Pacheco. We don't know what version of Pacheco we're going to see. And of course, Mr. Smith.
You're going to get contract Pacheco. You're going to get contract Pacheco.
You'll get, the contract year is undefeated, but we'll see. He seems to be in good shape. And he seems motivated. I think he knows his job is on the line. His future, as a starting running back is on the line. I think he's going to put everything he can into it. So good competition is good competition. But with the addition of Smith, I think that gives the Chiefs, 3 really good running backs they can rotate. And if they keep Steele, then they got a short yardage power guy that can certainly help.
Yeah.
So with that said, guys, this is our show for Monday. Thank you guys for joining in. We'll be coming back Wednesday at 1:30. We have more of your latest Chiefs news and more fun topics for you guys. So with that said, guys, thank you guys for joining in. And please don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, guys. We do a lot around here to keep everyone entertained on the off season because no one is going to give you all the latest Chiefs news.
Like subscribe. So
with this, we see you guys Wednesday at 1:30.
Look who showed up.
Okay. Ah, look at that.